Now, it's time to kick off the show with Move to Amend Rochester's Judge of Judges, Mel Braverman, who will offer his opinion of the very Supreme Court decision whose third anniversary we recognize today. Judge Mel Braverman.
As the first speaker today, let's do the first order of business, which is a thank you to Sam Fedeli. Sam had some help, but he has almost single-handedly put this thing together. And I think if we all had his drive, his energy, and his commitment, this thing would be a piece of cake. We'd have this government licked in no time at all. Now to the order of the day. As a judge, and I am a judge, indeed a jurist, I look for a few things when I make a decision that will affect the nation as it moves forward. Those two things are precedent and the Constitution. Let me repeat that. When I make a judicial decision, I look first at the Constitution and at precedent. That's why it amazes me that when we're talking about the case of Citizens United, my brethren on the Supreme Court looked at neither. They looked at not a precedent nor the Constitution. As the noted constitutional scholar Calvin Trillin phrased it, deciding Citizens United, 5 strict constructionists did find that massive, secret, corporate funding was what the framers had in mind. On January 21st, 2010, with its ruling in Citizens United versus the Federal Election Commission, the Supreme Court ruled that corporations are persons entitled by the U.S. Constitution to buy elections and run our government. Are you kidding me? Human beings are people. Corporations are legal fictions. We, the people of the United States, reject the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling in Citizens United and move to amend our Constitution to firmly establish basic principles. Money is not speech, and human beings, not corporations, are entitled to constitutional rights. The Supreme Court is misguided in principle and wrong on the law. In a democracy, the people rule. We move to amend the Constitution and restore democracy to the people. Our proposed amendment, the 28th, reads as follows. Section 1. This section establishes the principle that corporations are not people and can be regulated. The rights protected by the Constitution of the United States are the rights of natural persons only. Artificial entities, such as corporations, limited liability companies, and other entities established by the laws of any state, the United States, or any foreign state, shall have no rights under this Constitution and are subject to regulation by the people through federal, state, or local law. The privileges of artificial entities shall be determined by the people through federal, state, or local law and shall not be construed to be inherent or inalienable. Section 2 establishes the principle that money is not speech and can be regulated. It reads, federal, state, and local government shall regulate, limit, or prohibit contributions and expenditures, including a candidate's own contributions and expenditures for the purpose of influencing in any way the election of any candidate for public office or any ballot measure. Federal, state, and local government shall require that permissible contributions and expenditures be publicly disclosed. The judiciary shall not construe the spending of money to influence elections to be speech under the First Amendment. Section 3. Nothing contained in this amendment shall be construed to abridge the freedom of the press. I know that some of you may be dubious about amending the Constitution, but the Citizens United decision and the results which we saw in the last election is a horror which threatens our democracy. We must act. That's why I join with you and move to amend.